The greatest victories in life do not begin in the battlefield, the office, or the classroom. They begin in the mind. Before a soldier wins a war, before an entrepreneur builds an empire, before a student tops an exam, there is a decision made deep within: I can do this. Every success story, every breakthrough, every achievement has one common root: self-belief. It is the seed from which dreams grow, the foundation upon which success is built, and the energy that keeps you moving even when the road is steep. Self-belief is the silent voice inside you that whispers, "You can," when the world screams, "You can't." It does not shout, it does not demand attention, but it carries more power than the loudest voices of doubt. It is the invisible force that turns dreams into plans, and plans into reality. Without self-belief, even the most talented person remains stuck, because talent without confidence is like a bird with clipped wings. Opportunities may appear, but without belief, they slip away. Potential may exist, but without belief, it stays buried, waiting for courage to uncover it. With self-belief, however, even the most impossible goals become achievable, because the mind refuses to accept defeat as final. Think about it. Airplanes were once dismissed as impossible machines. People laughed at the Wright brothers, calling their vision foolish. Light bulbs were mocked as mad ideas. Yet Edison's belief fueled thousands of experiments until success lit up the world. Reaching the moon was considered pure fantasy, the stuff of fairy tales, until a group of dreamers who believed in human potential planted a flag on lunar soil. What separated them from the doubters was not just skill or resources, it was belief. They dared to see what others could not, and because they believed, the world eventually followed. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is not about pretending to be perfect or acting as if you have all the answers. True self-belief is humble yet unshakable. It is the courage to say, "I may not be the strongest, I may not know everything, but I will not stop until I win." It is the willingness to rise every time you fall, to try again when others quit, and to trust that your efforts will bear fruit even when results are invisible. When you believe in yourself, failure no longer feels like an ending. It becomes feedback, a teacher that sharpens your path. Challenges transform into stepping stones, each one carrying you higher. Fear, which once paralyzed, loses its grip because belief gives you something stronger to hold onto. Hope, determination, and resilience. You stop waiting for permission from others, for approval, for validation, for recognition, and instead you start writing your own permission slip to greatness. The truth is, nobody will ever believe in you more than you believe in yourself. If you doubt your abilities, the world will echo that doubt back to you in 1,000 ways. But when you walk with conviction, when you speak with confidence, when you act with certainty, even the world's resistance begins to bend in your favor. People are drawn to belief. They may not understand your vision, but they will respect your determination. Remember this: your belief is your superpower. Protect it and use it like a fire, fueled with positive thoughts, surrounded by supportive influences, and guarded against the winds of negativity. So ask yourself today, what dream are you holding back because of doubt? What goal are you delaying because you don't feel ready? Readiness is a myth. Nobody is ever fully ready. History is made not by those who waited for the perfect moment, but by those who decided that their belief was stronger than their fear. The moment you decide to truly believe in yourself is the moment you become unstoppable. Self-belief is the foundation of every lasting victory. Without it, the journey ends before it begins. With it, the journey continues no matter how long, no matter how hard, until you win. Chapter 1. Self-belief is the foundation of success. Every achievement in life begins with one simple yet powerful thing: belief. It is the root, the seed, and the starting point of all success. Before anyone else notices your potential, before the world applauds your talent, you must first recognize it yourself. Without self-belief, even the most gifted person will hesitate, doubt, and eventually quit when faced with challenges. On the other hand, with self-belief, even someone with no extraordinary talent can push through obstacles, keep going when others stop, and eventually achieve greatness. Think of a seed. It carries within it the possibility of becoming a massive tree. but that possibility is invisible to the naked eye. It cannot grow unless it is placed in soil, nourished with water, and warmed by sunlight. In the same way, your dreams are seeds. Self-belief is the soil that anchors them, discipline is the water that sustains them, and action is the sunlight that helps them rise. Without belief, the seed remains buried, never realizing its potential. History shows us countless examples. Thomas Edison was told he was too stupid to learn anything. Yet his belief in his vision led him to invent the light bulb. J.K. Rowling faced dozens of rejections before Harry Potter was published, but her belief in her story kept her writing. The Wright brothers were mocked for attempting to fly, but their self-belief literally lifted humanity into the sky. Success is never about perfect conditions, unlimited resources, or instant talent. It is about carrying an unshakable conviction that you are capable, that you will learn, adapt, and improve no matter how long it takes. Belief gives you the courage to start, the strength to endure, and the resilience to rise again after every fall. When you believe in yourself, you create momentum. That belief attracts opportunities, allies, and resources that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Doubt closes doors before they even open, but belief kicks them wide open. The truth is simple. Self-belief is the foundation upon which every empire, every invention, and every success story is built. Without it, the journey ends before it even begins. With it, the impossible becomes not just possible but inevitable. The psychology of confidence. Confidence is not a gift reserved for a chosen few. It is a psychological state that anyone can cultivate. It is not magic, nor is it luck. It is the direct result of what you feed your mind and how you train your thoughts. The human brain is highly impressionable. It believes what it hears most often. If you repeatedly whisper to yourself, "I can't," your brain quietly accepts it as fact and shuts down possibilities. But if you consistently affirm, "I will find a way," your brain begins to scan your environment, search for opportunities, and unlock creative solutions. Think of your brain as fertile soil. Whatever words and beliefs you plant in it will eventually grow into habits, behaviors, and outcomes. Negative thoughts produce weeds of fear and doubt, while positive affirmations produce roots of resilience and action. Confidence also works like a muscle. Just as lifting weights strengthens the body, taking action strengthens your self-belief. Each small step forward, each challenge faced, and each skill practiced adds a new layer of confidence. Over time, the very actions that once intimidated you become effortless, and you begin to see yourself not as someone who tries but as someone who does. Preparation is the hidden fuel of confidence. When you study, practice, or rehearse, your brain builds certainty, and certainty creates calmness under pressure. This is why athletes train endlessly, why speakers rehearse, and why successful people practice their craft daily. Because confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build. Motivation may spark the journey, but it is unreliable. It fades with moods, circumstances, and emotions. Confidence, on the other hand, is steady because it is grounded in proof, the proof of your own actions. Each time you show up, each time you try again, each time you refuse to quit, your brain gathers evidence that you are capable. And with enough evidence, confidence becomes unshakable. Stories of people who won through belief. The thread connecting the greatest success stories in history is not luck, privilege, or perfect timing. It is belief. Belief is the invisible fuel that powers the human spirit when everything else seems lost. The people who changed the world were not born extraordinary. They became extraordinary because they dared to hold on to their belief longer than others. Thomas Edison turning failures into footsteps. Thomas Edison's story is often told, but rarely felt deeply. Imagine failing not once, not 10 times, but over 1,000 times. Each attempt meant wasted time, broken materials, and ridicule from others who thought he was mad. Many called him foolish, yet Edison's belief turned failure into progress. When asked how he endured so many failures, Edison replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." This was not stubbornness, it was belief turned into persistence. His unshakable confidence that success was inevitable eventually led to the invention of the light bulb, an invention that literally brightened the world. His story shows us that belief transforms rejection into redirection and mistakes into stepping stones. J.K. Rowling, from rejection to revolution. J.K. Rowling's story is equally remarkable. At a time when her life was filled with struggle, a single mother, battling poverty, depression, and living on welfare, she was told repeatedly that her writing was too long, too complicated, and not marketable. 12 publishers rejected her manuscript. But Rowling's belief was louder than the voices of doubt. She believed not only in her story but in her identity as a writer. That belief carried her past rejection after rejection until one publisher finally took a chance. The result? Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, changing not only her life but also inspiring millions of readers around the world. Her journey proves that belief is what keeps you knocking until the right door. Story of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is one of the best examples of belief shaping destiny. Long before he was celebrated as a champion, Ali declared himself the greatest. To many, it seemed arrogant, even laughable. But Ali wasn't just boasting, he was programming his mind. By speaking greatness into existence, Ali conditioned himself to act like a champion before he was won. His belief carried him through defeats, physical pain, and even opposition outside the ring. He showed the world that confidence is not born from victory. Victory is born from confidence. Ali's life is proof that if you keep telling yourself who you are with conviction, one day the world will have no choice but to agree. Oprah Winfrey, rising beyond circumstances. Oprah Winfrey's journey shows us that belief is not just about talent, but also about self-worth. Born into poverty, facing abuse, and growing up in an environment that constantly told her she was less than, Oprah had every reason to give up. But instead of accepting the limits imposed on her, she chose to believe in her own voice. That belief became her power. It turned a young girl from Mississippi into one of the most influential women in the world. Her empire was not built on money or connections, but on belief that her story mattered and that she could rise above her circumstances. Oprah proves that belief is not only about achieving goals, it is about rewriting your identity. The common thread. What do all these stories have in common? Edison teaches us that belief transforms failure into discovery. A Rowling shows that belief pushes us beyond rejection. Ali proves that belief shapes identity before results. Oprah demonstrates that belief can rewrite destiny itself. Their lives scream a single truth. It's not the size of your talent, but the size of your belief that decides your future. Belief is not about ignoring reality. It is about refusing to let reality define your limits. It is about holding your vision so strongly that the world eventually bends to match it. When the world says, "Stop, it's impossible," belief answers, "This is just the beginning." How to build unshakable faith in yourself. Building self-belief doesn't mean pretending you are flawless or ignoring your weaknesses. It means developing the courage to see your potential as greater than your limitations, your growth as more important than your past, and your purpose as stronger than your fears. True faith in yourself is not a feeling that magically appears. It is a discipline, a daily practice that reshapes your mind, trains your habits, and strengthens your spirit. Know your strengths and accept your weaknesses. The cornerstone of faith is self-awareness. Too often, people compare their weaknesses with others' strengths, leading to unnecessary self-doubt. Instead, pause and reflect. What skills, qualities, or talents make you unique? What challenges have you already overcome? Where do you still need growth? By writing down your strengths, you give yourself proof of ability. By admitting your weaknesses, you prevent arrogance and make room for growth. Acceptance is not defeat. It is the foundation of authentic confidence. Belief built on truth, not illusion, cannot be shaken. Start small and build momentum. Faith grows not from grand dreams but from small wins stacked consistently. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, waking up early, completing a workout, finishing a task, you deposit trust into your self-belief bank. Momentum is magnetic. Small victories compound into larger ones, and your brain begins to see you as reliable. Soon, Belief shifts from, I hope I can to I know I will. Consistency is the secret bridge between intention and achievement. Visualize success until it feels real. Your brain cannot distinguish vividly imagined scenarios from lived experiences. That is why visualization is such a powerful tool. Athletes imagine the race before running it. Leaders picture their speech before giving it. The mind rehearses victory until it feels inevitable. When you visualize, don't just see the outcome, feel it. Imagine the emotions, the environment, the pride of success. This emotional rehearsal builds confidence, calms anxiety, and conditions your subconscious to act as if success is already part of your reality. Surround yourself with believers, not doubters. Your environment is the soil in which your self-belief grows. If you spend your life around critics, cynics, and doubters, their negativity will suffocate your faith. But if you surround yourself with believers, mentors, friends, and communities that uplift and challenge you, your faith will flourish. Energy is contagious. Guard your circle. Choose to walk with those who see the greatness in you, even when you struggle to see it yourself. Remember, you become the average of the people you spend most time with. Speak life into yourself with affirmations. Your words shape your world. Negative self-talk chips away at confidence, while empowering words reinforce it. Affirmations are not magic spells, they are mental blueprints. They rewire your subconscious through repetition. Say to yourself daily, I am capable. I am worthy. I am enough. I will win. Over time, affirmations replace doubt with certainty. You stop waiting for permission from the world and start granting it to yourself. Turn criticism and doubt into fuel. No matter how strong your belief, you will face critics. But criticism is not the enemy. Fear of criticism is. Learn to use it as fuel. Often, people who tell you you can't are really saying I couldn't. Their limits are not your destiny. Instead of arguing with doubters, let your results speak. Every you won't can become your reason to say, watch me. Greatness is not achieved by silencing critics but by outgrowing them. Practice resilience when failure strikes. Faith is not tested on mountaintops. It is tested in the valleys. Failure is not the opposite of belief, it is the training ground for it. Each setback forces you to decide, will I quit or will I rise again? Resilience means treating failure as feedback, not finality. Every comeback strengthens the conviction that no obstacle is bigger than your will to overcome it. As Nelson Mandela said, I never lose. I either win or learn. Celebrate progress, not just perfection. Perfection is a moving target. Chasing it breeds frustration. Instead, celebrate progress, the steps forward, no matter how small. Gratitude for growth tells your mind, I am becoming. I am moving forward. When you recognize progress, your belief system strengthens, because you are no longer waiting for one huge success to validate you. You are fueled by the victories of the journey. The habit of belief. Unshakable faith is not built in a single day. It is built daily. Like a tree, it takes time to grow roots strong enough to survive storms. But once it's rooted, no wind of doubt, no wave of criticism, no storm of failure can uproot it. Faith in yourself is the one power no one can give you or take away. Once you master it, everything else becomes possible. Chapter 2. Break the chains of doubt. Every person carries invisible chains, even if their smile looks confident and their steps appear steady. These chains are not made of iron or steel, yet they are often heavier than both. They are forged silently from fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. They do not clink like metal, nor can they be touched, but their presence can be felt in the tightness of your chest when an opportunity arises, in the silence of your voice when you want to speak, and in the hesitation of your feet when you wish to move forward. They are unseen, but they shape the way you live. Self-doubt speaks in the most deceptive way. It does not come as an enemy with weapons. It comes disguised as your own voice. It whispers gently, almost convincingly, what if you fail? What if you are not ready? What if others laugh? Fear, like a cunning partner, adds its own echoes. People will notice your flaws. They will remember your mistakes. They will not forgive your weakness. And so, without even stepping into the arena, without even testing your strength, you surrender. You place the crown of defeat on your head before the battle has even begun. Yet here lies the unshakable truth. Doubt is a liar, fear is a shadow, and the greatest prisons are built not of walls but of thoughts. We imagine doors that are locked when they are wide open. We believe in chains that do not exist except in our mind. The failures we fear are often lessons waiting to shape us. The judgments we dread are usually far less harsh than the ones we deliver upon ourselves. The very barriers that look solid and immovable are, in reality, paper walls, strong only until you dare to touch them. The moment you question these whispers, their volume weakens. The moment you choose to act in spite of fear, the illusion begins to shatter. And in that breaking, in that first act of defiance, you taste something extraordinary: freedom. Not the freedom given by others, but the kind you give yourself. Understanding self-doubt and fear. Self-doubt is the enemy within, the silent saboteur of potential. It is not loud, not violent. Instead, it disguises itself as reason, as caution, even as humility. It is that tiny, persistent voice inside your mind that asks questions laced with poison. Are you really good enough? Can you actually do this? What if you fail and everyone sees? These questions sound harmless, but repeated often enough, they carve deep cracks in your confidence. Fear is its loyal partner. Where self-doubt whispers uncertainty, fear paints entire landscapes of disaster. Fear does not simply say, "You might fail." It creates a vivid movie in your imagination where everything goes wrong. People laughing at you, opportunities slipping away, your name marked by mistakes. It convinces you that moving forward is too dangerous, that staying still is safer. And in believing this, you remain trapped. Self-doubt makes you underestimate your strengths. It convinces you that your abilities are small, your voice is weak, your dreams unrealistic. Fear exaggerates your weaknesses. It takes one flaw, one past mistake, and magnifies it until it overshadows everything else about you. Together, they create a prison. But a prison without locks, without walls, without guards. The bars exist only in your perception, and the key has always been in your own hands. The most powerful realization you can have is this: doubt and fear are not facts, they are illusions. They are shadows cast by your imagination, not truths carved into stone. Once you see them for what they are, they begin to lose their power. You realize that failure is not fatal, that mistakes are not permanent, and that judgment from others rarely lasts as long as the judgment you place on yourself. Understanding this is the first step to freedom. By recognizing that these inner voices are not reality but distorted echoes of your own insecurities, you reclaim control. And with that awareness comes strength, the strength to move forward, to try despite trembling hands, and to silence the voices that never truly belong to you in the first place. Common lies we tell ourselves. Most of our doubts are not born from reality but from the lies we quietly repeat inside our heads. These lies are subtle, almost convincing because they sound like logic, but in truth they are chains disguised as wisdom. When you believe them long enough, they begin to shape your choices, limit your growth, and silently write the story of your life. Lie number 1. I'm not ready. This is one of the greatest illusions. The truth is, no one ever feels completely ready. Readiness is not a destination you reach before you begin. It is a state you grow into while you act. Waiting to feel ready is like waiting for the ocean to be calm before you learn to swim. The perfect moment never comes. Growth does not happen in preparation alone. It is born in the messy, uncertain act of doing. Lie number 2. I'm not good enough. This thought poisons ambition before it has the chance to bloom. But the truth is, skill is built, not born. Every master was once a beginner fumbling through their first attempts. The musician you admire once struggled with the simplest notes. The athlete you respect once stumbled through basic drills. Greatness is not a gift given at birth. It is the result of persistence, practice, and faith in the process. Lie number 3. Others are smarter or luckier than me. Comparison is the thief of joy, and this lie thrives in it. Yes, some may have advantages, education, connections, timing, but success is rarely about luck. It belongs to those who keep showing up when others quit. Persistence outlasts privilege. Discipline defeats distraction. The people you think are lucky often built their fortune brick by brick, quietly, when no one was watching. Line number 4. What if I fail? Failure is not the end. It is a teacher dressed in disguise. Each failure contains information no book or mentor could give you. It shows you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. Failure is not a grave. It is a stepping stone. The only true failure is never trying at all. When these lies live in your mind long enough, they transform into self-fulfilling prophecies. Tell yourself you are not ready, and you will never take the leap. Convince yourself you are not good enough, and you will never build the skill to become great. See others as smarter or luckier, and you will never tap into your own persistence. Fear failure enough, and you will never create success worth failing for. The moment you stop repeating these lies, you begin to shift your reality. Your thoughts are the seeds of your future. Plant lies and you grow limitations. Plant truth and you grow freedom. How negative thoughts limit growth. Negative thinking is like poison to potential, slow, silent, and destructive. It does not strike all at once. It seeps in quietly, drop by drop, until it weakens your confidence and paralyzes your progress. The danger of negativity lies in how natural it feels. At first, it seems like you are just being realistic, just preparing for the worst. But in reality, every negative thought is a seed planted in the soil of your mind, and whatever you plant, you eventually harvest. Negative thinking narrows your vision. Imagine walking with blinders on. You see only the obstacles, never the paths around them. Opportunities can be right in front of you, but negativity blinds you to them, convincing you they are unreachable. It kills creativity. When your mind says, I can't, it shuts down the search for solutions. The brain is designed to solve problems, but when you feed it with impossibility, it stops trying. Creativity doesn't die because you lack talent. It dies because you told it not to exist. It creates procrastination. Fear of failure is the parent of delay. The thought, what if I fail, freezes your willpower, making you wait for a perfect moment that never arrives. You end up stuck in preparation, planning endlessly but never executing. Procrastination is not laziness. It is often the shadow of fear. It drains energy. Worrying about what might go wrong consumes more strength than actually facing challenges. You waste hours rehearsing imaginary disasters in your head, leaving you exhausted before you even begin. Negativity doesn't just steal opportunities. It steals the energy you could have used to create them. It blocks courage. Growth requires risk. Trying something new, stepping into the unknown, daring to be seen. Negative thoughts whisper, don't. It's too dangerous. You'll regret it. And so you retreat. You avoid risks that could have transformed your life, not because the risks were too big, but because your mind convinced you they were. At the root of it all lies this truth. Your thoughts shape your reality. The stories you tell yourself become the boundaries of your life. Feed your mind with negativity, and you will live within walls of limitation. Feed it with belief, courage, and possibility, and suddenly those walls dissolve. Your mind is both the prison and the key. The choice of what to plant, poison or power, limitation or liberation, is always yours. Practical steps to overcome doubt. Breaking doubt is not a one-time event. It is a daily discipline. Doubt does not disappear overnight. It must be weakened every day by action, by awareness, and by courage. Think of it like exercising a muscle. The more consistently you train your mind, the stronger your self-belief becomes. Here are practical, proven steps that can help you dismantle doubt and rebuild confidence. Number 1. Challenge your thoughts. Every doubtful thought begins with a question. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Instead of accepting these thoughts as truth, stop and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this fact or fear? Most of the time, doubt is not based on reality but on assumptions. By questioning it, you take away its authority. Remember, thoughts are not always facts. They are often just stories you've told yourself for too long. Number 2. Write your wins. Keep a personal victory journal. Each day, write down even the smallest achievements. A task completed, a challenge faced, a step taken despite hesitation. These records remind you that you can succeed, that you have succeeded before, and that you are capable of doing it again. Over time, this habit creates a library of confidence you can turn to whenever doubt returns. Number 3. Take small risks daily. Courage does not appear in grand moments. It is built in small daily choices. Speak up in a meeting, try something new, reach out to someone you admire, or learn a skill you've been avoiding. Each small risk becomes a victory, and with each victory, your courage grows stronger. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act while fear still whispers. Number 4. Speak affirmations. Your words shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. Doubt thrives on negative self-talk, so replace it with affirmations of strength. I can. I will. I must. Speak these words daily, especially when your mind begins to spiral into negativity. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept them as truth, and your actions follow the belief you feed it. Number 5. Seek mentors and allies. No one grows alone. Surround yourself with people who see your potential and remind you of your strength. A mentor's guidance or a friend's encouragement can silence the voices of doubt more effectively than isolation. Remember, voices that lift you create courage. Voices that limit you deepen fear. Choose your circle wisely. Number 6. Act before you feel ready. This may be the most powerful step of all. Waiting to feel confident before taking action is a trap. Confidence does not precede action. It follows it. The first step may feel clumsy, the second awkward, but with each move forward, confidence begins to bloom. The bridge to self-belief is built only by walking across it. Number 7. The daily discipline. Overcoming doubt is not about one heroic leap. It is about consistent, intentional action. Each time you challenge a fearful thought, celebrate a small win, or take a risk despite hesitation, you strike another blow against the chains of doubt. Day by day, step by step, you transform fear into fuel and hesitation into habit. In the end, it is not the absence of doubt that makes people succeed. It is the courage to keep moving forward in spite of it. Replacing fear with courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite fear. Every courageous person you admire has felt the same trembling, the same hesitation, the same uncertainty that you feel. The difference is not that they were fearless, but that they chose not to let fear decide their future. Fear is loud. It shouts warnings and paints disasters before you even take the first step. It says, "What if you lose? What if you embarrass yourself? What if people judge you?" But courage speaks a different language, one of possibility, hope, and resilience. Fear says, "What if you lose?" Courage answers, "But what if I win?" Fear asks, "What if you fall?" Courage replies, "But what if I fly?" Fear whispers, "It's too risky." Courage declares, "The greater risk is never trying." This shift in perspective is the key. Fear imagines the worst. Courage imagines the best. Fear keeps you chained. Courage hands you wings. Replacing fear with courage does not happen once. It is a practice. Each time a fearful thought enters your mind, consciously replace it with a courageous one. If your fear says, "I can't do this presentation," replace it with, "This presentation is my chance to grow." If your fear says, "What if I fail this exam?" replace it with, "This exam is an opportunity to prove my preparation." Courage is also contagious. When you act bravely, you don't just liberate yourself, you give permission to others to do the same. A single act of courage can ripple outward, inspiring friends, colleagues, or even strangers to face their own fears. Think of the child who dares to step on stage. Suddenly, others find the strength to do the same. Think of the person who speaks truth in a room of silence. Their bravery becomes a spark for others to raise their voices. The most beautiful truth is this: fear shrinks when faced, courage grows when practiced. Every small courageous act, speaking when you want to stay silent, stepping forward when you want to hold back, trying when failure seems possible, becomes a brick in the foundation of your strength. Over time, courage stops being something you borrow. It becomes who you are. Chapter summary: breaking the chains of doubt. Doubt and fear are not external enemies. They are prisons built within the mind. Their walls are made of lies we keep repeating. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? Their bars are strengthened every time we allow negative thoughts to rule our decisions. Yet, like all illusions, these prisons hold no real power once we recognize their nature. The first step to freedom is awareness. By recognizing the lies of doubt and the exaggerations of fear, you take away their disguise. You begin to see that fear is not a fact. It is only a possibility, one among many. The second step is resistance. Challenge every negative thought with truth. Ask yourself, is this fact or fear? Redirect your focus from weakness to strength, from impossibility to potential. Each time you choose a courageous thought over a fearful one, you weaken the chains that bind you. The final step is action. Courage is not about waiting until fear disappears. It is about moving forward while fear still lingers. Every small act of bravery, every risk taken, every word spoken, every step forward, builds confidence and creates momentum. With each action, doubt loses its grip and possibility begins to rise. Once you stop listening to doubt, you start listening to a new voice, the voice of possibility. And possibility is the birthplace of growth, success, and victory. It is the space where dreams turn into plans, and plans turn into reality. Remember, doubt will always knock, fear will always whisper, but you hold the key. The key is belief. The key is courage. The key is action. When you choose courage over fear, belief over doubt, and action over hesitation, you don't just break free. You discover that the prison never truly existed. What once felt like chains were only shadows, and you were always stronger than both. Chapter 3. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is like a spark. Exciting, powerful, and full of energy, but fleeting. It burns brightly in the moment, igniting your enthusiasm, yet it fades as quickly as it came. We all know that feeling. One day you wake up ready to conquer the world, and the next day you can't even get yourself out of bed. That's the nature of motivation. It is emotional, temporary, and unreliable. Discipline, however, is different. Discipline is like firewood. Steady, consistent, and enduring. Keeps burning even when the spark is gone. Where motivation fails, discipline remains. Discipline is the quiet force that carries you through fatigue, boredom, and discouragement. It is the bridge between your goals and your results. Too many people spend their lives waiting for motivation to arrive before taking action. They say, I'll start when I feel inspired. I'll do it when I'm in the mood. But winners know the truth. If you rely only on motivation, you will never build anything lasting. Dreams don't require fleeting sparks. They require steady flames, and discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire alive. Motivation may get you started, but only discipline keeps you going when times get tough. Motivation can push you to run 1 mile, but discipline will carry you through a marathon. Motivation can make you open a book, but discipline will help you finish it page by page, even when the excitement has worn off. Motivation may lead you to your dream, but discipline will walk you there step by step. Discipline is waking up at 5 a.m. even when your bed feels warm and your eyes are heavy. Discipline is writing the book even when inspiration is silent and the words don't come easily. A discipline is saying no to temporary comfort because you've already said yes to your long-term dream. In the end, it's not what you do when you feel like it that defines your success. It's what you do when you don't feel like it. Discipline is stronger than moods, stronger than excuses, stronger than fleeting bursts of motivation. That is why discipline will always outlast motivation, and why discipline, not motivation, is the foundation of greatness. Motivation versus discipline. What lasts longer? Motivation is like a sudden spark. It lights up quickly, fills you with energy, and makes you believe you can do anything. You watch an inspiring video, read a powerful quote, or hear an emotional speech, and suddenly you're ready to conquer the world. But here's the hidden truth. Motivation is a mood, and moods are never permanent. Some days you wake up full of energy and passion, ready to chase your goals, but other days you wake up tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. If you depend only on motivation, your progress will rise and fall with your emotions. That's why so many people start strong but quit halfway, because the spark that pushed them forward burned out too soon. On the other hand, discipline doesn't rely on feelings, it relies on decisions. Discipline is the quiet strength that says, I'll show up whether I feel like it or not. It doesn't matter if you're bored, uninspired, or exhausted, discipline makes you move. Where motivation asks, do I feel like doing this today? Discipline responds, feelings don't matter, commitment does. Think of it like sailing a boat. A motivation is the wind. When it blows, it pushes you forward with speed and power. But the moment the wind dies down, you stop moving. Discipline is the oars. Even when there's no wind, you can still row forward. It may not be as fast or exciting, but it keeps you moving steadily toward your destination. This is why true achievers don't depend on motivation alone. They use motivation to get started, but they build discipline to keep going. Motivation is what pushes you from the start line, but discipline is what carries you across the finish line. A motivation changes with your mood. Discipline stays the same regardless of mood. A motivation pushes you. Discipline carries you. If you rely only on motivation, you will quit when it disappears. But if you build discipline, you will keep moving until you win. In the long run, discipline always outlasts motivation, and that is why discipline creates champions. Daily routines of successful people. Success is never an accident. It is the result of consistent, disciplined choices repeated every single day. Great achievers don't live according to moods or random bursts of motivation. They design their lives around systems and routines that make progress automatic. Their discipline doesn't just guide their work, it shapes who they are. Take a closer look at some of the most successful people in history and today. Steve Jobs simplified his life by wearing the same outfit every day. Why? Because he understood that energy and focus are limited resources. By eliminating small, unnecessary decisions, he saved his mental power for what truly mattered, innovation and creativity. Elon Musk, one of the busiest entrepreneurs in the world, divides his day into 5-minute blocks. Every task, meeting, or decision fits into this structured schedule, ensuring maximum productivity. His discipline with time allows him to run multiple billion-dollar companies simultaneously. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was known for his relentless routine. While others slept, Kobe was already in the gym at 4 a.m., practicing the same shots again and again. His greatness wasn't talent alone. It was discipline forged through years of daily repetition. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of America, lived by a strict daily schedule. His mornings started with reflection and planning. His days were filled with focused work, and his evenings ended with self-examination. He didn't leave success to chance, he built it through structure. The lesson here is powerful. Success is not a product of one big breakthrough or a single flash of inspiration. Instead, it is the outcome of thousands of small, disciplined choices made every day. Waking up early, exercising consistently, practicing your craft, reading, reflecting, and sticking to a plan. These may not look glamorous in the moment, but over time, they create unstoppable momentum. Think of daily routines as the foundation of a skyscraper. You don't see the bricks being laid underground, but they are the very reason the building stands tall. In the same way, routines may feel boring or invisible, but they are what keep your dreams standing strong. Motivation might inspire you to start a new habit, but discipline locks it into your daily routine until it becomes part of your identity. Once discipline takes over, success stops being a dream and starts becoming a natural outcome of your lifestyle. When people think of success, they often imagine a huge leap, a dramatic breakthrough, or an overnight transformation. But the truth is far simpler and more powerful. Discipline is not about one big effort, it's about small actions repeated consistently until they grow into life-changing results. Imagine writing just 1 page a day. At first, it doesn't look like much, just a few words on paper. But if you stay consistent, That habit leads to 365 pages in a year, which is a complete book. What seemed impossible becomes reality through steady, daily effort. Think about money. Saving a small amount every single day might feel insignificant. But over time, these drops accumulate into a sea of wealth. Consistency turns coins into savings, and savings into financial freedom. Health works the same way. You don't need to spend hours in the gym to transform your body. Even 20 minutes of daily exercise builds stamina, reshapes your body, and strengthens your mind. Over weeks and months, those short workouts add up to a stronger, healthier version of yourself. The secret is this: consistency beats intensity. A person who works out for 20 minutes daily will always achieve more than someone who trains for 5 hours once a month. Similarly, the one who reads 10 pages every day will learn far more than the one who reads 300 pages once in a year. Consistency is like the steady drip of water on a stone. It may seem small, but over time, it carves even the hardest rock. Discipline transforms those small daily choices into habits, and habits build the future you dream of. So, don't wait for the perfect moment or try to do something massive in one go. Instead, commit to the power of small, repeated actions. Every step, no matter how tiny, is a victory. And when combined with discipline, those small victories become unstoppable momentum. How discipline creates freedom. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think of it as a restriction, a set of rules that trap you and take away your comfort. But the reality is the exact opposite. True discipline doesn't imprison you, it liberates you. Discipline with money, freedom from debt. When you control your spending, save consistently, and avoid unnecessary luxuries, you create financial security. Instead of living under the constant stress of loans and bills, you gain the freedom to invest, travel, and live life on your own terms. Discipline with health, freedom from sickness. Choosing healthy food, exercising regularly, and sleeping on time may seem like small sacrifices. But these habits free you from the chains of fatigue, disease, and weakness. You earn the energy and strength to pursue your passions fully. Discipline with time, freedom to live life your way. If you plan your day, eliminate distractions, and respect your priorities, you no longer waste hours on meaningless activities. Instead, you buy yourself more freedom. Freedom to work on your dreams, to spend time with loved ones, or to simply rest without guilt. The paradox is simple. What looks like sacrifice in the short term becomes freedom in the long term. Waking up early might feel hard today, but it frees your future from regret. Saying no to junk food might feel like a loss in the moment, but it gives you years of healthy living. When you master discipline, you break free from being a slave to laziness, procrastination, and destructive habits. Instead of being controlled by impulses, you take control of your life. In truth, discipline is the bridge between dreams and freedom. It gives you the power to choose, the strength to persist, and the independence to live life on your own terms. Mastering self-control. At the very heart of discipline lies self-control, the invisible muscle that decides whether you fall into distractions or rise above them. Without self-control, discipline cannot exist. And without discipline, no dream can survive. Self-control means working when Netflix tempts you. Anyone can work when they feel motivated, but real strength is shown when you keep going even while distractions scream for your attention. Every time you say no to distraction, you are saying yes to progress. Self-control means eating healthy when junk food calls you. It's easy to give in to cravings, but champions choose health over momentary pleasure. One disciplined choice at the dinner table today may save you from years of illness tomorrow. Self-control means speaking with patience when anger tries to control you. True strength is not in shouting louder but in staying calm when provoked. The greatest leaders, athletes, and thinkers mastered this inner control. They ruled their emotions instead of being ruled by them. The strongest person in the room is not the one who can lift the heaviest weight, but the one who can lift themselves above impulses. Self-control works like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each small victory, ignoring your phone during work, resisting unhealthy food, choosing patience over anger, builds your inner power. When you master self-control, discipline stops feeling forced. It becomes natural, almost automatic. You no longer battle yourself every day. Instead, you flow toward your goals with clarity and strength. In the end, the secret of greatness is simple. Control yourself and you can control your destiny. Chapter summary. Motivation is like a spark. It can light the fire, but it burns out quickly. Discipline, however, is the steady flame that keeps the fire alive even in storms. If you rely only on motivation, you will move forward in moments of excitement but stop the moment life gets hard. But if you rely on discipline, you will move forward whether you feel inspired or not. True success does not come from waiting for the perfect moment or the day you finally feel ready. That day never arrives. Success belongs to those who build discipline today, who choose to act despite fear, despite laziness, despite doubt. With discipline, you shape your daily habits. Your habits, repeated over time, shape your character, and your character ultimately shapes your future. It's a chain reaction. Discipline creates habits. Habits create results. Results create destiny. The difference between those who only dream and those who actually achieve is not talent, not luck, and not motivation. It is discipline, the quiet, consistent force that turns small steps into giant victories. So remember this truth. Motivation may open the door, but discipline is what walks you through it. If you master discipline, you master your destiny. Chapter 4. Build habits that last. The hidden power of habits. Great success is rarely the result of one lucky break or one extraordinary effort. Instead, it is the quiet accumulation of countless small actions, repeated day after day, until they become second nature. These repeated actions are what we call habits, the invisible architecture of our lives. Think of your life as a building. Your goals are like the blueprint, but your habits are the bricks. Without bricks, the blueprint is useless. Similarly, without habits, even the biggest goals remain unbuilt dreams. Every choice you make either strengthens or weakens the foundation of your future. Brushing your teeth daily may seem small, but it protects your health. Reading 10 pages daily may seem ordinary, but it expands your mind over the years. Waking up early consistently may feel tough, but it unlocks hours of productivity others waste. Good habits are like seeds that grow into trees of success, discipline, health, and wisdom. Bad habits are like hidden termites that silently eat away at your potential, leaving you weaker day by day without you even noticing. The reality is simple. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. You may dream of becoming fit, wealthy, or wise, but without daily habits to support that vision, the dream will collapse under its own weight. If you want a new future, you must first build new habits. If you want success that lasts, you must build habits that last. Success doesn't demand perfection. It demands persistence. So the question is not, what do I want to achieve? The real question is, what habits am I willing to build that will lead me there? The science of habit formation. Every habit, whether positive like daily exercise or negative like procrastination, is built through a simple but powerful neurological cycle called the habit loop. This loop has 3 parts: cue, routine, reward. A cue is the trigger that signals your brain to start a behavior. It can be a specific time of day, like morning when your alarm rings, an emotional state, such as stress or boredom, a place, your desk, or even the presence of certain people. For example, stress may trigger smoking, while the sound of an alarm may trigger checking your phone. A routine is the actual behavior you perform after the cue. This could be healthy, like exercising, drinking water, or reading, or it could be harmful, like endless scrolling, overeating, or smoking. Over time, the routine becomes automatic, so much so that you do it without thinking, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. A reward is the feeling you get after completing the routine. The brain is wired to crave rewards, whether that's physical pleasure, emotional relief, or psychological satisfaction. Each time you experience a reward, your brain strengthens the loop, making it more likely that you'll repeat the behavior. This is why habits, good or bad, become natural over time. The stronger the reward, the stronger the habit sticks. And the more often the routine is repeated, the less your brain questions it. That's why both good habits, like reading, meditation, healthy eating, and bad habits like smoking, junk food, or social media scrolling feel automatic and natural after some time. The good news is that once you understand this cycle, you can hack it. By keeping the same cue and reward but changing the routine, you can break bad habits and build powerful new ones that serve your future. Breaking bad habits step by step. Bad habits are deceptively easy to build but painfully difficult to break. They sneak into your life quietly, often disguised as comfort, entertainment, or relief, and before you know it, they become part of your daily routine. But the good news is that no habit, no matter how old or strong, is unbreakable. The key is to attack it strategically, not emotionally. Quitting a bad habit is not about raw willpower. It's about understanding the psychology behind it and replacing it with something better. The first step in breaking a bad habit is to identify the trigger. Every habit has a starting point, a cue that pushes you into action. Maybe you snack when you feel stressed, scroll social media when you're bored, or smoke when you're anxious. If you can figure out when and why the habit starts, you can begin to take control. Without awareness, you'll always stay stuck in the loop. The second step is to remove temptation. Willpower is not infinite. It weakens the more you resist something. That's why the best way to stop a bad habit is to make it harder to access. If junk food is your weakness, don't keep it in your home. If late-night phone scrolling ruins your sleep, leave your phone in another room. By creating distance between yourself and the temptation, you make the bad habit less convenient, and less convenience means less repetition. The third step is critical. Replace the habit with a positive one. Nature hates a vacuum. If you simply stop doing something, your brain will crave a substitute. That's why people who quit smoking often replace cigarettes with chewing gum, or why someone trying to cut social media might replace scrolling with journaling or reading. If you don't give your brain a healthier option, the old habit will find its way back. The fourth step is to stay accountable. Habits thrive in secrecy but weaken in the light. When you tell someone you trust about your goal, whether it's a friend, family member, or mentor, you create external pressure to stay consistent. Accountability partners remind you of your progress, celebrate your small wins, and call you out when you slip. This support system can be the difference between relapse and lasting change. Finally, the most important step is to be patient. Remember, bad habits weren't built in a day. They are the result of years of repetition. That means they won't disappear overnight. Expecting instant results only leads to disappointment. True change requires persistence. Every time you resist the old habit and choose the new one, even if it feels small, you are rewiring your brain. Over weeks and months, these tiny victories build momentum, and one day you realize the bad habit no longer controls you. For example, imagine you have the habit of scrolling your phone late at night, keeping you awake and leaving you tired the next day. Instead of just telling yourself, "I'll stop," you could place your phone in another room before bedtime and keep a book on your nightstand. Whenever the urge to scroll comes, you reach for the book instead. At first, it feels forced, but soon the routine of reading before bed becomes enjoyable and natural, replacing an unhealthy habit with one that improves your life. Breaking bad habits is not about being perfect, but about being consistent. Each small victory weakens the old routine and strengthens the new one. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes effortless, and you discover the freedom that comes with taking back control. Creating small but powerful daily habits. When people dream of transforming their lives, they often imagine dramatic transformations. Quitting a job, moving to a new city, or making overnight shifts in lifestyle. But the truth is, lasting change rarely comes from massive, sudden actions. It comes from small, consistent daily habits that, when practiced over time, compound into extraordinary results. Think of habits as seeds. Tiny and unimpressive at first, but with daily care, they grow into towering trees that reshape the entire landscape of your life. One of the simplest but most powerful habits is reading just 10 pages a day. 10 pages may not seem like much in the moment, but over the course of a year, it adds up to roughly 12 books. That means in just a few years, you could read dozens of books, gaining wisdom, new perspectives, and skills that set you apart from others who never make time for learning. Another example is exercising for just 20 minutes a day. Many people avoid fitness because they imagine they need hours in the gym, but that's a myth. Short, consistent workouts, even something as simple as brisk walking, stretching, or bodyweight exercises, can dramatically improve your health, energy, and mood. Over time, those 20 minutes build stronger muscles, better endurance, and a healthier heart, showing how a small daily habit can transform your physical life. Similarly, consider the power of writing 300 words a day. At first, 300 words might look like a small journal entry or a single page of thoughts, but over the span of a year, it adds up to more than 100,000 words, enough to write a full book. Many aspiring writers fail because they wait for inspiration, but those who commit to steady daily writing end up completing projects that once seemed impossible. Even in financial matters, saving just $1 a day can have life-changing effects. Beyond the money itself, the real power lies in the discipline it builds. Saving daily teaches consistency, patience, and the habit of prioritizing the future over instant gratification. Over time, the small savings grow, and more importantly, the person becomes someone who manages money wisely, a skill that compounds far beyond the dollar amount. The secret to these habits is consistency, not intensity. Anyone can push themselves for a day or two, but the real magic happens when you commit to tiny steps every single day. Like drops of water filling a jar, each small action may seem insignificant in isolation, but together, they create something massive and powerful. Over months and years, these tiny habits compound into monumental change. What starts as a small act of discipline, reading, exercising, writing, or saving, eventually shapes your identity. You no longer just do those things, you become the kind of person who lives by them. That's how small habits don't just change your routines, they change your destiny. Habit stacking. Adding new habits to old ones. One of the smartest ways to build new habits is through habit stacking, the simple but powerful technique of attaching a new behavior to something you already do daily. The human brain loves patterns and routines. Once an action becomes automatic, it doesn't require much thought or willpower. By linking a new habit to an existing one, you ride the wave of what's already natural, making it far easier to stick with your new routine. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you can stack a new habit right after it, like doing 10 push-ups. Brushing your teeth is a strong, ingrained cue, so adding push-ups afterward makes the new action flow almost effortlessly. Similarly, if you never miss your morning coffee, use that moment to write down 3 goals for the day. Over time, your brain begins to see coffee and goal setting as part of the same ritual. The same principle applies after finishing work. Instead of slipping into mindless scrolling, spend 15 minutes learning something new. Slowly, this becomes a natural transition. End of work, signals, start of learning. The power of habit stacking lies in how it tricks your brain into accepting a new behavior faster. Instead of relying on willpower or reminders, you let the old habit act as the trigger for the new one. Over time, the two actions fuse together, creating stronger routines without extra effort. This method works because you are not starting from scratch. You are simply expanding on the habits you already own. In the long run, habit stacking allows you to layer powerful routines into your life with minimal resistance. One small action leads to another, and before you realize it, you've built a chain of positive behaviors that shape your day. What begins as brushing your teeth could turn into exercise, reflection, and gratitude. What begins as morning coffee could become planning, focus, and success. Step by step, stack by stack, you transform your life not by massive leaps, but by building on the habits you already have. Tracking progress for long-term success. One of the most overlooked but powerful tools in building lasting habits is tracking your progress. As the old saying goes, what gets measured gets improved. When you track your actions, you create awareness, and awareness creates responsibility. Without measurement, habits slip away quietly. But when you can see your progress on paper, on a screen, or even on a wall calendar, your brain feels rewarded and motivated to keep going. There are many simple ways to track your growth. A habit tracker journal is a classic method. Writing down each habit daily makes you more conscious of your behavior. Some people prefer the simplicity of a calendar. Every time you succeed, mark an X on the date. Over time, those X's form a chain, and the goal becomes simple: don't break the chain. For those who enjoy technology, apps can provide reminders, streak counters, and even gentle nudges to keep you on track. Whichever method you choose, the act of recording your success turns an invisible effort into visible proof. But tracking isn't just about marking days. It's about celebrating milestones. Each small win, whether it's a week of consistency or a month without missing a habit, deserves recognition. Rewarding yourself after these milestones reinforces the behavior in your brain, making it more likely to stick. It transforms discipline from something heavy into something exciting, almost like a game where every win takes you closer to success. The real magic of tracking lies in the accountability it creates. When your progress is visible, skipping a day doesn't feel harmless anymore. You see the break in your chain, and it pushes you to get back on track. Over time, this visual feedback system trains your mind to stay consistent even when motivation fades. In the long run, tracking habits is not just about progress charts. It's about building a relationship with your own growth. Every checkmark, every X, every completed streak is a reminder that you are moving forward, one step, one day, one habit at a time. And when you look back after months or years, you won't just see marks on a page. You'll see the evidence of transformation, discipline, and success built by your own hands. Chapter Summary. Habits are more than small routines. They are the invisible architecture of our lives. Every action you repeat daily becomes a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Good habits build strength, focus, and growth, while bad habits quietly steal your time, energy, and potential. That's why true success is not about sudden breakthroughs or one-time efforts, but about shaping the small choices you make every single day. Breaking bad habits may feel difficult, but with awareness, strategy, and patience, it is always possible. Replacing harmful patterns with positive ones ensures that you are not just stopping something destructive, but also building something constructive in its place. At the same time, creating small but powerful daily habits, like reading, exercising, or saving, sets in motion a ripple effect that grows into massive results over the years. The secret is not intensity, but consistency. Tools like habit stacking and progress tracking make the journey easier. By attaching new habits to old ones, you allow your brain to adopt them naturally. And by tracking your progress, whether with a journal, calendar, or app, you transform discipline into a game of daily wins, where every mark of success pushes you forward. In the end, the formula for success is simple. Break the bad, build the good, and stay consistent. You don't need to change your entire life in one day. You only need to master one habit at a time. Because when small habits are repeated with persistence, they stop being choices and start becoming who you are. And that is the path to a lifetime of growth, freedom, and success. Chapter 5. Turn pain into power. Pain is life's most misunderstood gift. Many see it as a curse, something unfair, something to run away from. Yet, if you look closer, pain is not a wall blocking your path. It is the very doorway to your transformation. The greatest achievers, leaders, and champions all share a secret. They did not escape pain. They embraced it, learned from it, and allowed it to shape their destiny. When pain arrives, it demands your attention. It forces you to slow down, to reflect, and to grow in ways comfort never can. Gold cannot shine unless it passes through fire. Diamonds are born only under immense pressure, and muscles grow stronger only by tearing and repairing. In the same way, your character, resilience, and strength are forged only in the furnace of struggle. Think about your own life. Every setback, every heartbreak, every disappointment has carried within it a hidden lesson, a chance to rise higher than before. Pain is not life's punishment. It is life's preparation. It is proof that you are being stretched toward something greater, something you may not yet see. The true key, then, is not to avoid pain, but to use it. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of running from discomfort, step into it with courage. When you do, you will discover the hidden treasure inside every trial, the power to become stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. Why pain is part of growth. Pain is not your enemy. It is the hidden evidence that you are changing. Every time you stretch beyond the walls of comfort, pain arrives, not as a punishment, but as a partner in transformation. It whispers to you that something inside is shifting, that you are evolving into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Without pain, growth would never move from a desire into a reality. The lessons hidden in different kinds of pain. Physical pain in training. Think of an athlete who pushes their body beyond its limits. In the moment, every rep burns, every muscle aches, and every breath feels heavier than the last. But hidden in that pain is renewal. Muscles tear so they can repair themselves with greater strength. Endurance expands only when it is tested. That discomfort is not weakness, it is progress carved into the body. A mental pain in learning. When you challenge your mind with new knowledge or difficult problems, you feel frustration. You fail, you doubt, and sometimes you want to quit. Yet, that very mental struggle stretches your capacity. Every mistake plants the seed of understanding. Every failed attempt is a rehearsal for success. Without the pain of confusion, clarity could never be born. Emotional pain in life. Loss, rejection, betrayal, and disappointment feel like weights too heavy to carry. But emotional pain is the sculptor of the soul. It deepens your empathy, sharpens your wisdom, and builds resilience. The strongest hearts are not those that have avoided pain, but those that have been broken and still found the courage to love, trust, and rise again. Nature's reminder. Pain is growth. Look at nature for proof. A tree must break through the hard earth to rise toward the sun. A seed must crack apart before new life can emerge. Even a butterfly must struggle inside its cocoon. If it is helped out too early, it dies, because the struggle is what strengthens its wings. Pain is the push that takes you from one version of yourself to the next. Reframing pain as power. If your life feels painful, it is not because you are failing, it is because you are in motion. Growth without pain is like trying to light a fire without friction. Cannot happen. Pain is the friction that sparks transformation. The next time you feel it, pause and remind yourself, this is not the end of my story. This is the raw material from which my strength is being built. Every tear, every setback, every ache is proof that you are not standing still. You are on your way to becoming more. Pain is not a curse. It is a sign that you are alive, moving, and growing. Embrace it, and you will discover that what once felt like suffering was actually the doorway to your greatest strength. Learning from failure instead of quitting. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation of success. Every great achievement you see in the world today was built on a trail of failed attempts. Failure does not disqualify you. Quitting does. The only time failure becomes permanent is when you give up trying. Until then, every setback is nothing more than a stepping stone leading you forward. Failure as a teacher, not an enemy. When most people fail, they see it as proof that they are not good enough. But those who succeed view failure as feedback, information that guides them closer to the right path. Every mistake reveals what doesn't work, which brings you one step nearer to discovering what will work. Failure is not a dead end, but a redirection toward growth. Stories of the great who failed first. Thomas Edison was told he was wasting his time after failing over 1,000 times in his attempts to invent the light bulb. Yet he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Those failures became the blueprint for his success. Walt Disney was once fired from a newspaper because he supposedly lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine if he had quit there. The world would have never known Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, or the empire of creativity he left behind. Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player of all time, missed over 9,000 shots in his career. He lost nearly 300 games and failed 26 times when trusted to take the game-winning shot. Yet, it was his willingness to fail, learn, and try again that made him legendary. Each of these icons proves the same truth. Failure only destroys those who stop, but it transforms those who keep going. The hidden power in every failure. Failure strips away illusions and forces you to face reality. It humbles you, toughens you, and sharpens your vision. Every time you fall, you learn what to avoid, what to improve, and what to do differently next time. This is why failure is not wasted. It is recycled into wisdom. Why quitting is the real failure. Quitting is the only decision that ends your chance of success. The road to greatness is crowded with people who gave up too early, not those who failed too much. Winners are not people who never failed. They are people who refuse to quit. Turning failure into fuel. The next time you face failure, shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I am learning." Every failure carries a seed of instruction, and if you nurture it, it grows into strength. Remember this: success is not built on perfection. It is built on resilience. The road may be littered with mistakes, but each one is proof that you are trying, moving, and learning. Winners stumble just like everyone else, but what sets them apart is their decision to rise again. Failure is not final, it is feedback. And feedback, if you embrace it, will lead you to greatness. Turning setbacks into lessons. Setbacks are not the end of your story. They are hidden chapters that prepare you for a stronger comeback. Life is not meant to be a smooth, straight road. Every obstacle you encounter is a disguised opportunity. Every challenge a secret teacher. The key is not to resent setbacks, but to mine them for the wisdom they carry. The hidden purpose of setbacks. When you face rejection, loss, or failure, it can feel like the world is against you. But in reality, life is redirecting you. A closed door does not mean never. It simply means not this way. Every setback forces you to pause, reflect, and grow in ways that success alone could never teach you. Lost a job? Life is pushing you to expand your skills, explore new opportunities, or even start something of your own. Many entrepreneurs only discovered their path after losing what they thought was their security. Faced betrayal? As painful as it is, betrayal reveals who is unworthy of your trust and helps you build discernment. It teaches you the value of loyalty and the strength of standing on your own. Business failed? That failure is not a dead end, but a map showing you exactly what not to do next time. Every great business leader you admire today has a graveyard of failed attempts behind them. The power of one question. Most people, when hit by a setback, fall into the trap of asking, "Why me?" This mindset creates self-pity and keeps you stuck. Champions, however, ask a better question. What is this teaching me? That single shift changes the entire meaning of your pain. Suddenly, failure is no longer punishment, it becomes preparation. From pain to wisdom, every setback carries within it a lesson you could never learn from success alone. Pain teaches resilience, loss teaches gratitude, and obstacles teach patience. When you see setbacks as lessons instead of curses, you unlock a kind of wisdom that no classroom, no book, and no easy victory could ever provide. The seed of comebacks. History is full of people who turned devastating setbacks into legendary comebacks. They understood that setbacks are not signals to stop, but invitations to rise higher. The world remembers not their failures, but the strength of their return. Your new perspective. So, the next time life knocks you down, don't stay there. Look for the lesson hidden inside the struggle. Ask yourself, what am I meant to learn? How can this make me stronger? What new direction is life pointing me toward? When you adopt this mindset, setbacks lose their power to break you. Instead, they become stepping stones on your path to greatness. Setbacks are not roadblocks. They are road signs, and every sign is pointing you toward growth, wisdom, and the comeback your future self is waiting for. How to handle rejection positively. Rejection stings. Whether it comes from a person, a job, or an opportunity you desperately wanted, it can feel like a heavy blow to your confidence. But here's the truth. Rejection is not a judgment of your worth. It is simply a redirection of your path. Rejection doesn't define you. Many people take rejection personally, as if it means, I am not good enough. But rejection is rarely about who you are. It often means that the timing wasn't right, the opportunity wasn't aligned, or that something better is waiting for you. Think about it. If every door opened easily, you would never be forced to grow, sharpen your skills, or discover new directions. Stories of rejection that became success. The world's greatest achievers faced countless rejections before their breakthroughs. Their stories remind us that rejection is not the end. It's often the beginning of something greater. J.K. Rowling, now one of the most successful authors in history, had her Harry Potter manuscript rejected by 12 different publishers. If she had given up after the first or second rejection, the world would have never read her story. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women on earth, was once fired from her job and told she was unfit for television. Today, she is the face of inspiration worldwide. Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC, was rejected over 1,000 times as he tried to sell his chicken recipe. But he refused to let rejection break him and turned his persistence into a global empire. These stories prove one thing: rejection is not failure, but a test of perseverance. Rejection is redirection. Every no you receive is pushing you toward the right yes. It is life's way of filtering out the paths that are not meant for you. Instead of closing your heart, let rejection sharpen your focus and redirect your energy. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this rejection? How can I improve myself for the next opportunity? Is this pushing me towards something better that I couldn't see yet? Turning pain into power. Rejection hurts, but it also reveals your strength. Each rejection builds resilience. It teaches you to separate your worth from outside approval and to anchor your confidence within yourself. The more you face rejection without breaking, the stronger you become. The champion's mindset. Winners don't avoid rejection. They embrace it. They understand that rejection is proof they are trying, reaching, and daring to put themselves out there. Champions use rejection as motivation, fuel, and a signal to keep going until the right door opens. Remember this: rejection is not the universe closing a door on you. It is the universe saying, "Not this one. I have something better in store." Building emotional resilience. Life is full of unexpected challenges. Heartbreaks, failures, losses, disappointments. Some people get crushed by these storms, while others rise stronger from them. The difference lies in one powerful quality: resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It is the inner strength that helps you bend but not break. It allows you to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward even when life feels overwhelming. Why resilience matters. Without resilience, every rejection feels like the end, every failure feels permanent, and every challenge feels impossible. But with resilience, you begin to see setbacks as stepping stones, pain as temporary, and difficulties as opportunities for growth. Resilient people don't escape the storm, they learn to dance in the rain. How to build emotional resilience. Accept that pain is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not sadness, not pain. When you accept that hardship is temporary, you stop seeing it as the end of the road and start treating it as a passing phase. Control what you can, release what you can't. Much of life is outside our control. Resilient people focus their energy only on what they can change and let go of the rest. This shift reduces stress and brings peace. Focus on progress, not perfection. Waiting to be perfect before moving forward is a trap. Resilient people understand that small steps matter. Every effort, no matter how small, is progress. Practice gratitude even in hardship. Gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of drowning in what you've lost, you begin to see what you still have. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gives you the strength to bear it. Surround yourself with strong, positive people. You are influenced by the energy around you. Resilient people choose to keep company with those who lift them up, not those who drag them down. Supportive relationships act as anchors in difficult times. The mindset of the resilient. Resilient people are not superhuman. They feel pain, cry, struggle, and even fall apart at times. But they never stay broken. They rebuild themselves with patience, self-compassion, and hope. They trust that storms don't come to destroy them, they come to shape them. Remember this: resilience is not the absence of struggle. It is the power to rise again, no matter how many times you fall. Chapter summary. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Every hardship you face is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for the life you were meant to live. Instead of running from pain, learn to embrace it as a sign of growth. Failures are not the end of the journey. They are milestones on the path to success. Every mistake carries feedback, every setback hides a lesson, and every rejection is simply redirection towards something greater. The world's most successful people did not escape pain. They transformed it into power. Resilience is the armor that makes you unbreakable. It is the strength to rise again after falling, the courage to keep moving when the road feels heavy, and the wisdom to dance in the rain instead of waiting for the storm to pass. Remember, pain will either crush you or build you. The choice is yours. When you decide to learn from it, grow through it, and turn it into fuel, nothing in this world can stop you. Chapter 6. The Art of Staying Focused. Why focus is the new superpower. We live in an age of endless notifications, constant updates, and an overload of information. Our phones buzz, our inboxes overflow, and social media never stops calling for our attention. Everyone seems busy, yet very few are genuinely productive. This is the paradox of our times. We confuse activity with achievement. The truth is simple: success belongs to the focused. Greatness is not about doing everything at once, but about doing the right things with full attention. The moment you learn to block out the chaos, focus with unwavering clarity, and dedicate yourself fully to one path, one pursuit, one dream, you step into greatness. Focus is the new superpower because it gives you leverage in a distracted world. It turns average effort into extraordinary results. It transforms time into impact. It allows you to move beyond mediocrity and into mastery. But staying focused is not easy. The human mind naturally wanders. Our environment constantly pulls us in different directions. The art of focus requires discipline, clarity, and consistent practice. It is a skill that must be built like a muscle through intentional effort. In this chapter, we will explore: Number 1. The science of attention, how your brain works when it focuses and why multitasking is a trap. Number 2. The enemies of focus, distractions, procrastination, and digital addiction. Number 3. The power of deep work, how to enter a state of flow where productivity feels effortless. Number 4. Practical strategies, tools, and techniques to sharpen your concentration every day. Number 5. The mindset shift, learning to prioritize what truly matters and letting go of the rest. Master the art of staying focused, and you will hold in your hands a tool that multiplies everything else you do. Whether it's building a business, excelling in studies, writing a book, or simply living with more presence, focus is the foundation on which all success is built. The cost of distractions in modern life. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It does not shout. It does not attack you directly. It creeps in quietly, steals your attention, and leaves you empty-handed. Every time you check your phone unnecessarily, scroll aimlessly through social media, or attempt to multitask, you are paying with the most valuable currency of life: your focus and energy. The science of lost focus. Research shows that after a single distraction, such as replying to a message or checking a notification, the brain takes, on average, 23 minutes and 15 seconds to return to a state of deep concentration. This means that even just a quick glance is far more costly than we realize. The hidden time drain. Most people spend 3 to 4 hours every single day lost in meaningless scrolling, binge watching, or digital noise. Over a year, that adds up to more than 1,200 hours, the equivalent of 50 full days. Imagine what you could create, learn, or build in that time. The real reason dreams die. Dreams rarely die because people lack intelligence, resources, or talent. They die because attention is scattered. When energy is divided between endless distractions, there is nothing left for what truly matters. A half-focused life leads to half-lived dreams. Distractions don't just waste time. They weaken the very muscle of focus. The more we indulge in them, the harder it becomes to sit still, think deeply, or work with intention. Over time, this creates a cycle of shallow living, always busy, but never progressing. To protect your dreams, you must protect your attention. Every notification silenced, every hour reclaimed, every decision to stay present is an act of rebellion against the forces pulling you away from your destiny. Key lesson: the cost of distractions is not measured in minutes, but in missed opportunities. Every hour wasted is a step further from the life you were meant to live. Time management strategies. You don't need more hours in the day, you need better priorities. Everyone is given the same 24 hours, yet some people build empires while others barely get through the day. The difference is not time itself, but how wisely it is invested. Time management is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. When you align your daily actions with your biggest goals, life starts moving forward with momentum. Let's break it down into strategies that actually work. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. Not all tasks are equal. Research shows that 20% of your actions generate 80% of your results. For example, a business may find that 20% of clients bring 80% of revenue, or a student may realize that 20% of focused study brings 80% of exam success. The lesson: identify the few tasks that make the biggest difference and double down on them. Prioritize daily, the power of 3. Each morning or the night before, write down your top 3 most important tasks. These are the non-negotiables that must be completed no matter what. By focusing on them first, you ensure progress on your biggest goals instead of drowning in busyness. Productivity is not about finishing everything, but about finishing what matters. Time blocking. Instead of working in chaos, schedule your day in blocks of focused time. Dedicate certain hours to deep work, others to rest, and some to learning. For example, 9 to 11 a.m. could be your focus zone for high-value tasks, while evenings might be reserved for reading or exercise. Time blocking removes decision fatigue and makes your day predictable and intentional. The power of saying no. Every yes you give to low-value activities is a silent no to your dreams. Guard your time like treasure. Learn to politely decline invitations, commitments, or habits that don't align with your priorities. Remember, successful people are not those who do the most, but those who protect their focus and energy for what truly matters. When you practice these strategies, you shift from being reactive to being proactive. Instead of chasing every urgency, you build a life centered on priorities. You stop being busy and start being effective. Key lesson: time management is not about squeezing more into your day, but about making every hour count. Success comes not from endless activity, but from focused, intentional action. Deep work versus shallow work. Not all work is created equal. Some tasks keep you occupied but add little to your long-term growth, while others push you closer to mastery and lasting success. The difference lies between shallow work and deep work. Shallow work. These are tasks that are easy to do, often done on autopilot, and require little concentration. Examples include replying to emails, scrolling through updates, attending routine meetings, or handling minor administrative chores. They keep you busy, but they rarely move the needle in your life or career. Shallow work is comfortable, but it's a trap. It creates the illusion of productivity without real progress. Deep work. Coined by productivity expert Cal Newport, deep work refers to the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. This is the kind of work that challenges you, stretches your mind, and produces lasting results. Examples include writing a book, solving a complex problem, designing a system, coding a project, or mastering a new skill. Deep work is difficult, but it is where greatness is born. Why winners choose deep work. Shallow work may maintain your life, but deep work transforms it. Winners understand that mastery and innovation don't come from answering emails faster. They come from diving into deep, focused efforts that create value. Every hour spent in deep work builds rare skills, sharpens creativity, and compounds results over time. The contrast in impact. Shallow work equals busy but replaceable. Anyone can reply to messages or attend another meeting. Deep work equals focused and irreplaceable. It is where you produce results that make you stand out, results that cannot easily be copied. The tragedy is that most people fill their days with shallow work, leaving little space for the deep work that truly matters. The winners, however, reverse this equation. They minimize shallow distractions and maximize deep focus. Digital discipline. Your phone can either be your greatest tool or your silent prison. It can connect you to knowledge, opportunities, and growth, or it can trap you in endless scrolling, shallow conversations, and wasted hours. The difference lies in one thing: discipline. Without it, your phone will consume your attention, drain your energy, and weaken your ability to focus. Turn off non-essential notifications. Every pop-up notification hijacks your brain's attention system. Most of these alerts are neither urgent nor important. By turning them off, you reclaim hours of mental peace and protect yourself from constant interruption. Set specific times for social media and messages. Instead of checking your phone 50 times a day, schedule windows of time for it. For example, 20 minutes in the afternoon and 20 minutes in the evening. This transforms your phone from a constant distraction into a controlled tool. Use apps to block distractions. There are powerful apps like Freedom, Forest, or Focus that will lock social media or entertainment sites during work hours. Think of them as digital guards for your focus. These tools remind you that your attention is precious and not to be wasted on digital noise. To keep your phone away during deep work, willpower is limited. If your phone is within reach, you'll be tempted to check it. The simplest solution: keep it out of sight while working deeply. Out of sight truly means out of mind, freeing your brain for uninterrupted concentration. The truth is simple: you control your devices or they control you. Technology is not the enemy, lack of discipline is. When you master your digital habits, you unlock hours of free time, sharper focus, and a calmer mind. Key lesson: social media and constant notifications are designed to steal your attention. By building digital discipline, you protect your mind and free your focus for what really matters. How to protect your focus daily. Focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Just as athletes protect their bodies with routines and discipline, you must protect your mind with daily rituals that strengthen attention and guard it from distractions. Great focus doesn't happen by accident. It is built, day by day, with intention. Here are simple but powerful practices to protect your focus daily. Start mornings distraction-free, clarity rituals. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for the entire day. Instead of grabbing your phone the moment you wake up, invest the first 30 to 60 minutes in clarity rituals, such as journaling your thoughts, meditating, praying, or planning your top priorities. This clears mental clutter and primes your brain for deep focus. Work in focus bursts, the Pomodoro technique. Your brain was not designed for endless hours of concentration. Instead, work in cycles of 25 to 50 minutes of deep focus followed by 5 to 10 minutes of rest. These short bursts train your mind to stay sharp and prevent burnout. Over time, this rhythm makes focus sustainable and enjoyable. Your surroundings shape your state of mind. A cluttered desk often leads to a cluttered mind. By keeping your workspace clean, quiet, and free of distractions, you create an environment where focus flows naturally. Even small changes like using noise-canceling headphones, good lighting, or organizing your desk can dramatically improve concentration. End your day with reflection and preparation. Focus doesn't end when work ends. Each evening, take a few minutes to review your wins, however small, and write down your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. This ritual not only gives you a sense of closure but also allows your subconscious mind to prepare for the next day's challenges while you rest. Daily focus rituals act like an invisible shield around your attention. They protect you from the chaos of the world and help you channel your energy into meaningful progress. Key lesson: focus isn't built in one heroic effort. It's built through small daily disciplines. Protect your attention like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Chapter summary: the art of staying focused. Focus is the master key to success in today's distracted world. Talent, intelligence, and even resources are powerless if your attention is scattered. The ability to concentrate deeply on what matters is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Distraction is the silent thief of potential. Every moment spent in shallow activities, mindless scrolling, endless notifications, Meaningless busyness steals time and energy from your dreams. The first step to mastery is recognizing this cost and reclaiming your attention. True productivity is not about doing more, but about doing what matters most. By applying time management strategies like the 80-20 rule, daily prioritization, time blocking, and the courage to say no, you shift from being busy to being effective. Winners rise above the noise because they practice deep work. While others drown in shallow tasks, they enter states of flow where creativity, skill, and impact multiply. Deep work creates value that cannot be replaced. It is the foundation of excellence. But in order to reach this level of focus, you must practice digital discipline. Your devices are powerful tools, but without control, they can enslave your mind. By turning off distractions, setting boundaries, and keeping your phone away during focus hours, you take back control of your life. Finally, focus must be protected daily. Through rituals like starting mornings with clarity, working in focus bursts, creating a distraction-free environment, and ending each day with reflection and preparation, you train your focus muscle and make it stronger every day. The truth is timeless. What you focus on grows. Focus on distractions and they will multiply. Focus on your goals and they will expand. Guard your focus like treasure, because it is the foundation upon which your future is built. Chapter 7. Surround yourself with growth. Why your environment shapes you. No matter how strong your willpower, you cannot outgrow a toxic environment. The people, places, and habits around you are constantly shaping who you are becoming. You may have the greatest vision in your heart, but if you are surrounded by negativity, laziness, or mediocrity, it will eventually drag you down. The truth is simple. Your environment is stronger than your intentions. Motivation fades, discipline gets tested, but your surroundings silently influence your thoughts, your energy, and your choices. That's why successful people are intentional about the company they keep, the spaces they live in, and the voices they listen to. If you walk with eagles, you'll learn to fly. If you spend time with visionaries, risk-takers, and learners, their energy will lift you higher. But if you surround yourself with pigeons, people who gossip, complain, and settle for less, you'll remain grounded, stuck in cycles of small thinking and wasted potential. History and psychology both prove this truth. We rise or fall to the level of our environment. Just as a plant grows only as strong as the soil it is rooted in, you will grow only as strong as the environment you place yourself in. In this chapter, we will explore: Number 1. The hidden influence of your environment, how it silently shapes your habits and mindset. Number 2. The power of associations, why the people you spend time with determine your future. Number 3. Designing a growth environment, creating spaces, routines, and circles that pull you forward. Number 4. Letting go of toxic ties, how to protect your energy from negative influences. Number 5. Choosing mentors and role models, learning to walk with eagles and soar higher. Your environment can either nurture your growth or poison your potential. The choice is yours. Surround yourself with growth, and you will naturally rise. The power of environment on success. Your environment is like soil for a seed. Even the best seed will not grow in toxic soil, but an average seed can flourish in rich, fertile soil. Success is not only about personal talent or willpower. It is also about where you choose to plant yourself. A growth-friendly environment pushes you forward. When you surround yourself with positive, ambitious, and disciplined people, their energy becomes contagious. You naturally raise your standards, aim higher, and push yourself harder. Just like iron sharpens iron, being in the right environment sharpens your skills, mindset, and character. A negative environment keeps you small. On the other hand, toxic environments filled with negativity, gossip, laziness, or fear will slowly poison your progress. Even if you start with passion and determination, constant exposure to small-minded thinking will shrink your vision and weaken your confidence. A bad environment doesn't just delay success, it kills it silently. The right environment accelerates growth. Imagine two people with the same skills and goals. One spends time with dreamers, doers, and achievers, while the other spends time with complainers and procrastinators. Within a year, the first person will be miles ahead, not because they are smarter, but because their environment multiplied their growth. The right soil can double, even triple, the speed of your success. The lesson is clear. Environment beats intention. You may have the strongest will, but if you stay in toxic soil, you will wither. If you place yourself in rich soil, you will flourish, sometimes beyond what you even imagined. Key lesson. Choose your environment as carefully as you would choose the soil for a seed. It determines not just how fast you grow, but how far you can go. Why your circle defines your level. Your circle is your mirror. The people you spend the most time with are a direct reflection of where you are headed. Without even realizing it, you absorb their beliefs, habits, and energy. Over time, you begin to talk like them, think like them, and act like them. Winners associate with winners. High achievers understand that growth happens in the company of other ambitious people. When your friends discuss ideas, strategies, opportunities, and solutions, you naturally start raising your own standards. Being surrounded by winners challenges you to keep up, to stretch beyond your comfort zone, and to believe in bigger possibilities. Average people keep you average. There is nothing inherently wrong with average, but settling there means you stop growing. If your circle is filled with people who live on autopilot, just surviving, not thriving, you will unconsciously lower your potential to match theirs. Comfort zones are contagious. Without realizing it, their good enough becomes your ceiling. Losers drain your energy and vision. Negative people don't just waste your time, they erode your confidence and destroy your vision. Constant complaining, gossip, and excuses are toxic. Spending too much time with such people drains your drive and fills your mind with doubts. A single discouraging voice in your circle can delay your progress by years. Your circle is either an engine or an anchor. It can push you higher with encouragement and accountability, or it can weigh you down with fear and negativity. Key lesson. If you want to rise, spend time with people who lift you. If you want to stay average, surround yourself with average. If you're not careful, your circle can cost you your destiny. Choose wisely, because your circle today shapes your success tomorrow. How to choose supportive relationships. Not every friend is meant to walk with you to the finish line. Some people are only chapters in your story, not the whole book. If you want to grow, you must learn to choose your relationships wisely, because the right people can accelerate your success, while the wrong ones can quietly sabotage it. Be around people who celebrate your wins, not envy them. True friends clap the loudest when you succeed. They are not threatened by your progress. They are inspired by it. If someone belittles your dreams or gets jealous of your success, they are not part of your growth circle. Choose those who genuinely want to see you win. Choose friends who challenge you to level up. The best relationships are not just comfortable, they are challenging. Good friends remind you of your potential, hold you accountable, and push you beyond excuses. They don't let you settle for less than you are capable of. If your circle doesn't stretch you, it's shrinking you. Build relationships with those who share similar values and dreams. Growth becomes easier when you walk with people who believe in the same principles of hard work, discipline, and vision. Shared values create trust, and shared dreams create momentum. These are the people with whom you can build something meaningful. Loyalty plus positivity equals long-term growth relationships. Skills may fade, circumstances may change, but loyalty and positivity are timeless. Supportive relationships are rooted in trust and upliftment. When you have friends who stay loyal in tough times and remain positive in storms, you've found growth partners for life. The truth is, you don't need hundreds of friends, you need a handful of the right ones. Quality always beats quantity. A few supportive, loyal, and growth-minded relationships can transform your life more than a large circle of shallow connections ever could. Role of mentors and accountability partners. If friends shape your environment, then mentors and accountability partners supercharge your growth. They act as guides and anchors, keeping you on the path when distractions, doubts, or delays threaten your progress. Mentors are growth accelerators. A mentor is someone who has already walked the road you are just beginning. They have faced the obstacles, made the mistakes, and learned the lessons. By sharing their wisdom, they give you shortcuts that can save you years of trial and error. A single conversation with the right mentor can spark an idea, unlock a solution, or prevent a costly mistake. Accountability partners keep you consistent. Motivation is powerful, but it comes and goes. What sustains progress is consistency, and that's where accountability partners come in. An accountability partner is someone who checks in on your goals, reminds you of your commitments, and pushes you to show up even when you don't feel like it. They keep you honest with yourself and prevent you from quietly quitting on your dreams. Both protect you from mistakes and delay. Without guidance, it's easy to wander off course. Without accountability, it's easy to procrastinate. Mentors provide the wisdom you need, while accountability partners provide the discipline you need. Together, they create a support system that helps you grow faster with fewer setbacks. Think of it this way. A mentor is like a map, showing you the best routes, warning you of dead ends. An accountability partner is like a travel companion, making sure you keep walking, step after step, until you reach the destination. Key lesson: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with the guidance of mentors and the support of accountability partners. They turn ambition into action, and action into achievement. Eliminating toxic influences. Growth isn't just about adding the right people, it's also about removing the wrong ones. Just like a tree grows stronger and healthier when the dead branches are pruned, your life will flourish when you cut off toxic influences. Negativity is contagious. People who constantly complain, criticize, or discourage you act like poison to your mindset. If you keep them close, their energy will infect your thinking and slowly kill your ambition. You cannot carry dead weight and expect to fly. At the cost of gossip and complaining, gossipers and complainers drain time, energy, and focus. They distract you from building your own dreams by pulling you into useless conversations. The more you engage with them, the further you drift from growth. Dream killers must go. Some people simply cannot see beyond their limitations, so they try to impose those limits on you. When you share your vision, they laugh, mock, or discourage. These are dream killers, and if you keep them close, they will blind you to your potential. Protect your peace like treasure. Your peace of mind is your most valuable asset. Without peace, you can't focus. Without focus, you can't grow. Learn to say no without guilt, to walk away without explanation, and to protect your environment like it's sacred ground. Key lesson: growth requires pruning. If you want to rise, you must let go of the weights pulling you down. Removing toxic people isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. Chapter summary: your growth is never a solo journey. It is deeply influenced by the people and environments around you. No matter how strong your habits or discipline, if your surroundings are toxic, your progress will be slow and painful. But when you create a growth-friendly environment, everything becomes lighter, faster, and easier. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you. A strong circle will lift you higher, while a weak circle will keep you average. Choose wisely because your circle is your mirror. Seek out mentors who have walked the path before you. They will give you guidance, save you from mistakes, and provide shortcuts to success. Pair this with accountability partners who keep you committed when your motivation fades. Together, they accelerate your growth beyond what you can achieve alone. At the same time, have the courage to prune toxic influences. Negativity, gossip, and dream killers drain your energy and distract you from your mission. Protect your peace like a treasure chest, because it is the foundation of consistent growth. Final reminder: the right people push you forward, the wrong ones pull you down. Your environment is either your prison or your power. Choose the one that builds your future. Chapter 8: the road of persistence. Why persistence is the real superpower. Talent can give you a head start, intelligence can make the journey easier, and opportunities can create momentum. But without persistence, all of it collapses. Persistence is the real superpower because it outlasts talent, outshines luck, and outperforms temporary motivation. Life will test you. Doors will close. People will doubt you. Failures will knock you down again and again. But those who persist, who refuse to give up, who get back up one more time than they fall, are the ones who eventually win. Think of persistence as the secret bridge between dreams and reality. Many start the journey with passion, but few finish it with patience. Persistence is what carries you across the storms, delays, and disappointments until you finally reach the other side. In truth, persistence is not about never failing. It's about never staying down. It's the daily choice to keep moving forward, no matter how slow, no matter how heavy the burden feels. Remember, the world doesn't reward those who try once. It rewards those who try until. Why persistence beats talent. Talent is a gift, but persistence is a decision. Talent may give you an advantage at the beginning, but it cannot guarantee victory. The finish line is reserved for those who keep going, even when the journey becomes painful, uncertain, or slow. Talent gives you speed, but persistence gives you stamina. Many people start strong, but only the persistent finish strong. A history is full of examples. Talented musicians, athletes, writers, and entrepreneurs who quit when challenges came. On the other hand, the world remembers those who refused to quit, ordinary people who kept showing up, who kept pushing, and who turned obstacles into stepping stones. Persistence transforms ordinary into extraordinary. It doesn't matter if you start average. If you are consistent, focused, and unshakable, you will eventually outperform those who rely only on talent. Think of it this way. Talent may help you shine for a moment, but persistence keeps the light burning for a lifetime. Lesson: never underestimate the power of persistence. Talent may inspire others, but persistence builds legacies. Stories of persistence leading to victory. Behind every great success lies a story of relentless persistence. These stories remind us that failure is never the end. It is simply a step closer to victory. Thomas Edison. When questioned about his 1,000 failed attempts before inventing the light bulb, Edison responded, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." His persistence didn't just give the world light, it gave the world hope that failure is never final. J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, 12 publishers rejected her manuscript. She was a struggling single mother, living on welfare, yet she persisted in her dream. Today, her books have inspired millions and built a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Colonel Sanders. At the age of 65, with little to his name, he knocked on doors to share his fried chicken recipe. After hearing 1,009 no's, one yes finally gave birth to KFC, a brand now recognized worldwide. Each of these stories teaches a timeless truth. Failure is not defeat unless you quit. Every rejection, every setback, and every closed door is simply a test of your persistence. Lesson: success is rarely about never falling. It is about rising every time you fall. Staying strong when progress feels invisible. One of the hardest parts of persistence is moving forward when it feels like nothing is happening. You pour in effort, time, and energy, yet the results seem invisible. This is where most people quit. But those who learn to keep walking during the silent seasons are the ones who eventually taste victory. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even small steps count. A single brick may look insignificant, but enough bricks build a castle. Celebrate small wins because they add up to massive success. Success is built brick by brick. Overnight success is a myth. Every overnight success story you see is built on years of invisible hard work. Each consistent effort lays the foundation for your breakthrough. Develop patience. Persistence compounds. Just like compound interest, persistence multiplies over time. What seems small today becomes unstoppable tomorrow if you don't quit. Use reminders of your why. Keep a vision board, journal, or quote in front of you. On days when motivation fades, your why will fuel your how. Key insight: the waiting season is not wasted. It's where your character, resilience, and strength are built. If you keep going when results are slow, you're proving to yourself and the world that your dream is stronger than your doubts. Mental toughness in hard times. Hard times are not meant to break you, they are meant to shape you. Every storm you face is secretly building your strength, discipline, and resilience. Without challenges, you would never know how strong you truly are. Persistence is not just about pushing forward physically. It is about strengthening your mind to stay unshaken when the world feels like it's falling apart. Hard times test your character, but persistence strengthens it. Challenges are the fire that purifies, stripping away excuses and exposing your real character. While comfort keeps you soft, struggle sharpens you. Every time you refuse to quit, you add another layer of strength to your spirit. Train your mind to see setbacks as temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not pain, not struggle. When you train your mind to see challenges as temporary obstacles rather than permanent walls, you gain the courage to keep moving forward. A setback is not the end. It's a detour, a redirection towards something better. Replace negative self-talk with affirmations. Your greatest battle is not with the world but with your own thoughts. If your mind says, "I can't," your body will obey. Instead, command your mind with powerful affirmations. I will not quit. This challenge is making me stronger. My story is still being written. Speak life into yourself daily, because persistence begins with belief. Build resilience through routines, faith, and focus. Resilience is not born in a moment, it is built daily. A strong morning routine, physical discipline, and focused habits keep you stable when chaos comes. Faith, whether in God, yourself, or your vision, gives you inner strength when nothing else makes sense. Focus ensures that no matter how loud the noise gets, you stay aligned with your mission. Key insight: mental toughness is not about ignoring pain. It's about facing pain and choosing to rise anyway. The strongest people are not those who never fell. They are the ones who kept getting back up. Celebrating small wins on the journey. Success is not one giant leap. It's a series of small steps taken consistently. Each step forward, no matter how small, is evidence that you're moving closer to your dream. Unfortunately, many people dismiss these small wins because they don't look dramatic or impressive. But the truth is, small wins are the seeds of big victories. Every step forward is proof that you're closer to your goal. Progress may feel invisible at times, but even a single action moves you ahead. Whether it's writing one page, saving a little money, going to the gym, or learning one new skill, it's all proof that you're on the path. These steps may seem small in the moment, but over time, they compound into massive transformation. Celebrate small victories, they fuel your persistence. When you celebrate a small win, you train your brain to associate effort with reward. This boosts motivation and keeps you energized for the long haul. Think of it as charging your inner battery. Each small celebration refuels you to keep going. Examples: finishing a chapter of your book equals treat yourself with a break or something you love. Closing a small deal in business equals acknowledge it as a stepping stone to bigger deals. Sticking to your routine for a week equals celebrate consistency, not just results. Acknowledging progress keeps motivation alive. Without celebration, the journey can feel like an endless grind. You'll start to believe that your efforts don't matter. By pausing to acknowledge your progress, you remind yourself that your hard work is paying off. This awareness becomes a shield against discouragement. Small wins create momentum, and momentum creates success. Think of success like pushing a heavy ball up a hill. At first, it feels impossible, but every small push gets the ball moving. Once momentum builds, the journey becomes easier and faster. Small wins are those pushes, they create unstoppable momentum. Key insight: don't wait until the final victory to feel proud of yourself. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. Celebrate along the way, because these small wins are the proof that persistence is working in your favor. Chapter summary: the road of persistence. Persistence isn't just about holding on. It's about pushing forward when every voice says, give up. It's the line that divides dreamers from achievers. Talent may open doors, but only persistence keeps you walking through them. Talent may impress people for a moment, but persistence builds legacies that last for generations. The stories of history prove one thing: persistence beats failure every single time. Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was the most talented, but because he was the most persistent. J.K. Rowling didn't build a billion-dollar literary empire because publishers believed in her. She built it because she didn't stop knocking on doors. Persistence is more than patience. It is faith in motion. It's the belief that even when results are slow, Even when the road feels endless, your effort is planting seeds for a harvest you cannot yet see. True persistence requires mental toughness in the darkest times, the discipline to keep showing up, and the wisdom to celebrate even the smallest wins. Because small wins fuel momentum, and momentum transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary success stories. Remember this truth. Talent inspires, but persistence transforms. Talent shines, but persistence endures. In the end, it's not the most gifted who rise to the top. It's the ones who simply refuse to stop climbing. Chapter 9. Victory is within you. The victory that lives inside. Victory is often misunderstood. Many people spend their entire lives chasing trophies, recognition, and applause from the outside world. They believe success is measured by the car they drive, the house they live in, or the number of people who admire them. But the truth is, none of those things can give you lasting fulfillment. The greatest victory is not external, it is internal. True victory begins when you conquer the invisible battles within yourself. It is not about defeating others. It is about defeating fear, silencing doubt, and rising above the voice that says, "You can't." Every time you choose courage over fear, discipline over excuses, and growth over comfort, you claim a victory that no one can take away from you. Money, titles, and achievements may fade, but the strength, resilience, and character you build remain forever. A trophy can be stolen, but confidence and self-mastery cannot. This is why real winners are not just those who cross the finish line first, but those who keep running when others give up. When you learn to win within, you automatically position yourself to win outside. Success in the external world is simply a reflection of the victories you have already secured in your inner world. That's why the most powerful truth is this: if you conquer yourself, you've already conquered the world. So remember, the victory that matters most is not displayed on a shelf, but carried in your spirit. And once you master that inner victory, no setback, no rejection, no failure can ever truly defeat you. Success as a journey, not a destination. Most people imagine success as a finish line, a point in time where life becomes perfect, struggles disappear, and happiness is guaranteed. They think, once I get that job, once I earn that amount of money, once I reach that milestone, then I'll finally be successful. But this mindset is flawed because success is never about a single moment. It is not a trophy to be won once and stored away. It is a lifelong process of growth, discovery, and evolution. Success is a journey of becoming. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every lesson you learn along the way, these are the bricks that build your true success story. The journey itself is what shapes you into the kind of person who can handle greater opportunities and responsibilities. Think of it like climbing a mountain. If you only focus on the summit, you miss the beauty, the growth, and the strength you gain with every step upward. The real success is not just standing at the top. It's in every breath you take, every rock you climb, every moment you refuse to turn back. Every step forward is success. The day you refuse to quit, you succeed. The moment you rise again after falling, you succeed. The time you choose discipline over excuses, you succeed. Even the silent victories, like controlling your anger, pushing through fear, or staying committed when no one is watching, are proof that you are already winning. When you stop seeing success as a final destination and start embracing it as a daily journey, two things happen. Number 1, you release pressure. You no longer wait for one big moment to validate your worth. Instead, you find fulfillment in small, steady progress. Number 2, you gain momentum. Each small win builds confidence, and confidence creates the energy to keep going. True success is not about arriving somewhere. It's about who you become along the way. The money, the recognition, the achievements, they are byproducts. The real treasure is the person you grow into, wiser, stronger, more resilient, and more courageous than the version of yourself who started the journey. So don't wait for a faraway destination to call yourself successful. Look at the steps you've already taken. Look at the battles you've survived. Look at the discipline you've practiced. That is success. And as long as you keep walking forward, you are already living the journey of a true achiever. Becoming the best version of yourself. Most people chase the idea of becoming successful, but they often forget the deeper truth. The ultimate goal in life is not to become better than others. It's to become the best version of yourself. This means living in such a way that every day you are a little stronger, wiser, more disciplined, and more compassionate than you were yesterday. Success is temporary if it's only measured by money, titles, or recognition. But becoming the best version of yourself creates lasting fulfillment because it is growth from the inside out. Becoming your best self requires 3 powerful shifts in mindset. Number 1. Self-awareness over comparison. Too often, people waste energy comparing themselves to others. But comparison steals joy. Instead of asking, "Am I better than them?" ask, "Am I better than who I was yesterday?" The journey is not about winning someone else's race. It's about mastering your own. Number 2. Growth over perfection. You will never be perfect, and you don't have to be. The best version of you is not flawless. It is courageous, consistent, and willing to grow. Mistakes, failures, and struggles are not proof of weakness. They are tools that shape your strength. Number 3. Discipline over excuses. Growth demands choices. Every day you either take a step toward your best self or away from it. Discipline, waking up early, staying committed, controlling your habits, is the bridge between the person you are and the person you want to become. Practical ways to become the best version of yourself. Feed your mind with knowledge, positive thoughts, and inspiring ideas. Take care of your body through health, rest, and energy-building routines. Surround yourself with people who uplift, not those who drain you. Practice gratitude daily to focus on what's working, not just what's missing. Face fears instead of running from them. Growth happens outside the comfort zone. Remember, the best version of you is not some distant, perfect image you'll reach one day. It is the daily process of becoming. Every choice you make either strengthens or weakens that version. The day you realize you don't need to compete with anyone else, and that your true purpose is to outgrow your past self, that is the day you begin to live with real freedom. Becoming the best version of yourself is the ultimate success. Because when you grow, everything around you grows too. Your relationships, your opportunities, and your impact on the world. Gratitude and humility after winning. Winning feels powerful. It's the moment when your hard work, sacrifice, and persistence finally bear fruit. But here lies the real test. What do you do after the victory? For many, success becomes a trap. They let pride blind them, believing they are invincible or self-made. But true champions know something deeper. Victory is never yours alone. Behind every achievement is a web of unseen support. The family who believed in you, the mentors who guided you, the friends who encouraged you, and even the critics who pushed you to grow. Gratitude is recognizing that your journey was never walked alone. Why gratitude matters after success. Number 1. Keeps you grounded. Gratitude reminds you that you are human, not untouchable. Keeps your feet on the ground even when your head wants to rise into the clouds of pride. Number 2. Protects you from ego. Ego whispers, "I did this all by myself." Gratitude replies, "I had help along the way." Without humility, victories turn into arrogance, and arrogance eventually leads to downfall. Number 3. It multiplies your blessings. The more you appreciate, the more you receive. People are drawn to leaders who remain humble in success, not those who brag. Gratitude builds deeper trust and opens doors for future opportunities. How to practice gratitude after winning. Acknowledge others. Publicly thank your team, mentors, or family. A simple, "I couldn't have done this without you," builds lasting respect. And remember your struggles. Never forget the pain, sleepless nights, and failures that shaped your strength. Victories mean little without the scars behind them. Share your success. Use your win to uplift others. Teach, mentor, or support those still on their journey. Stay teachable. Even after winning, remain a student. Every victory is just one chapter, not the whole book. Example, think of athletes like Muhammad Ali or cricketers like Imran Khan. Despite their fame, they often acknowledge their teams, their coaches, and the people who stood by them. Their greatness was not just in winning titles but in staying grounded and giving back. Final thought. Victory is a gift, not a crown to wear forever. Gratitude ensures you never lose sight of where you came from. Humility ensures you don't fall while standing at the top. Real champions don't just win, they win with grace. They understand that the purpose of success is not to feed the ego but to serve, inspire, and uplift others. Life principle. The higher you rise, the deeper your roots of humility should grow. Inspiring others with your story. Your victories are not just for you, they are for the world. Every challenge you faced, every tear you shed, and every mountain you climbed carries a lesson bigger than your own life. When you rise, you show others what's possible. Sharing your journey transforms your pain into another person's strength. Too often, people believe success belongs only to the special ones, the rich, the talented, the lucky. But when you share your story honestly, you break that myth. You prove that ordinary people can rise to extraordinary heights if they dare to persist. Why your story matters. Number 1. It gives hope to the struggling. Somewhere, someone feels like quitting. Your story could be the reason they keep going one more day. Number 2. It turns pain into purpose. What once hurt you now becomes healing for others. The scars you carry are proof that survival and success are possible. Number 3. Creates a ripple effect. Inspiration doesn't stop with one person. The one you inspire may inspire hundreds more. Number 4. It makes you immortal. Long after the moment passes, your story lives on in the lives it touches. That is a victory beyond money or fame. How to inspire others with your journey. Be authentic. Don't hide your failures. People connect more with your struggles than with your victories. Speak with courage. Share not only what you achieved, but also what you endured to get there. Highlight persistence. Show that success wasn't instant, it was built step by step. Or encourage action. End your story with a message that pushes others to rise and believe in themselves. Light bulb example. Think of Malala Yousafzai. Her story of surviving fear and violence did not just belong to her. It became a global message of courage and education. Or consider Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times but turned his failures into a lesson for inventors worldwide. Their stories continue to inspire generations. Final thought. Your story is not a diary to be kept hidden. It is a torch meant to light the way. By sharing it, you remind the world that no struggle is wasted, no pain is meaningless, and no victory is too small. When you inspire others, your journey becomes larger than yourself. You don't just win, you help others believe they can win too. Conclusion. Victory was never out there. It was always within you. The doubts, the fears, the failures, they were all training you for this moment. You didn't just win at life, you won yourself. And that is the greatest victory of all. Living a life of purpose and legacy. Victory is more than medals, applause, or recognition. True victory is measured not by what you keep, but by what you give. Not by how high you rise, but by how many you lift along the way. The greatest achievers in history are remembered not just for their success, but for the impact they left behind. When you live with purpose, you shift from chasing success to creating significance. Money, status, and fame vanish with time, but the seeds you plant in people's hearts continue to grow long after you are gone. Legacy is not about how long you live. It's about how deeply you touch lives while you are here. What does purpose look like? Number 1. Impact over income. Ask yourself, am I making a difference or just making money? Real wealth is measured in lives touched. Number 2. Contribution over competition. Life is not about being better than others, it's about being useful to others. Number 3. Service over spotlight. Fame fades, but service endures. When your work helps others, your influence becomes eternal. The questions that define purpose. What impact am I making? If your success helps no one else, it is too small. Whose life am I changing? Purpose begins when someone else's smile is linked to your effort. What will I be remembered for? Will your name remind people of hope, courage, and kindness? Or will it fade into silence? Living beyond yourself. Think of Abdul Sattar Eddy. He lived simply, owned almost nothing, yet left behind hospitals, shelters, and hope for millions. Or Mother Teresa, who built no empire, but built a legacy of compassion that still moves hearts today. Their lives prove that greatness lies not in possessions, but in purpose. How to build your legacy daily. Serve in small ways. A kind word, a helping hand, a sacrifice no one sees. These plant seeds of love. A stand for values. Integrity, honesty, and courage outlast every temporary victory. Create ripple effects. Teach, mentor, or inspire someone else to grow. When they rise, so does your legacy. Final thought. Life is short, but legacy is eternal. Don't let your victories die with you. Let them become roots that nourish the next generation. Build not just a life of success, but a life of significance. Because at the end of it all, the world will not remember how much you owned, but how much you gave. Key reminder: winning is not just about what you gain, but about what you give back. Closing. Focus on you until you win. At the end of this journey, you must hold on to one unshakable truth. Everything begins with you, and everything ends with you. Your victories, your growth, your future, and your destiny are not in the hands of luck, chance, or others. They are shaped by your focus, your persistence, and your relentless refusal to give up. The world will doubt you. People will whisper that your dreams are impossible. Life will throw distractions, temptations, and hardships in your path. There will be days when you feel invisible, overlooked, or broken. But none of that matters, because as long as you keep your eyes on the path ahead, you will rise again and again. Success has never been about luck. It has never been about shortcuts. True success is about consistency in the small things, discipline when no one is watching, and determination when everything seems to be against you. It's about waking up every day with the decision: I will not quit until I win. Do not wait, start now. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. Do not wait for the world's approval, because most people won't understand your vision. Do not compare your pace with others, because their race is not your race. Look within yourself. The answers you seek, the strength you need, and the courage you long for are already inside you. Every setback is preparation. Every failure you face is not the end, it is training. Every rejection is not a dead end, it is redirection. Every heartbreak is not punishment, it is refinement. Setbacks are the universe's way of preparing you for a stronger comeback. The pain you carry is building muscles that success will one day require. The nights you cry in silence are watering seeds of resilience. The struggles you face today are shaping a version of you that is unstoppable tomorrow. Celebrate small wins. Never underestimate the power of small victories. That single chapter you wrote, that single workout you finished, that one step you took toward your dream, it all matters. Each small win is proof that greatness is already inside you, waiting to be multiplied. Progress, no matter how slow, is progress. And progress is the evidence of victory being built brick by brick. Your story is still being written. Remember, your story is not finished. The failures of yesterday do not define your tomorrow. The setbacks of today are just chapters, not conclusions. And the doubts of others have no power over your destiny. The pen is in your hands. You are the author. You are the hero. You are the one who will decide how this story ends. The power of focus. Focus is your greatest weapon. When you scatter your energy, you weaken yourself. But when you focus your mind, your heart, and your spirit on your purpose, nothing in the world can stop you. Focus on your growth. Become better every single day, even if only by 1%. Focus on your goals. Keep your vision clear and your why strong. Focus on your journey. Trust the process no matter how long it takes. Do not chase applause. Do not chase perfection. Do not chase shortcuts. Chase consistency. Chase discipline. Chase victory. Final word. One day you will look back at the nights you cried, the battles you fought, the storms you endured, and you will smile because you did not quit. You focused on you and you won. So keep your eyes forward. Keep your heart steady. Keep your faith alive. Focus on your growth. Focus on your goals. Focus on your journey. Focus on you until you win. Victory belongs to those who refuse to quit.